Oh, Mr. Kringle is soon gonna jingle all the bells that'll tingle all your troubles away. Everybody's waiting for the man with a bag. Christmas is here again. He's got a sleigh full, it's not gonna stay full. Stuff that he's dropping every step of the way. Everybody's waiting for the man with a bag. Christmas is here again. He'll be here.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Sight for Wight's 5th award ceremony. This year, because of the COVID restrictions, it is in a virtual format, but still promises to be an exciting and very entertaining evening. The theme this year is the wish, and it's so encouraging because every year we receive more and more stories. And as usual, we've put them into 3 categories. The under 12s, 12 to 17s, and 18s and over. And I'm sure our judges have been faced with some difficult choices. And now I'd like to introduce our celebrity readers. They are Joe Brand, Melvin Hayes, Idana Minghella, and for the first time, the scriptwriter Ray Allen. Joe, Melvin and Idana have supported us on many previous occasions. All prize winners will have their stories read by our celebrity readers, and these will be available on our websites. The under 12s will also have their stories printed in the county press. We have some musical entertainment for you as well. Hannah, who's called the Vintage Songbird, has sung for us before. And we'd also like to welcome this year, for the first time, Ben Stubbs and Kelly Burke. One of our volunteers, Howard Thomas, is also providing a reading. Everyone is donating their time absolutely free. And it is such a wonderful gesture. And our sincere and grateful thanks go to each and every one of them. I would also like to thank all the staff at Millbrook House for all their input in producing such a wonderful evening, and especially I'd like to thank Chris Kane for all of his efforts in making such an entertaining evening for us all. And now I'd like to introduce Hannah to start our evening off. Thank you.
Hello and good evening. My name is Hannah the Vintage Songbird, and I am so thrilled that I get to sing for you this evening here at Sight for Wight's short story competition and award ceremony. Now, fingers crossed, next year we'll all be able to be in the same room, but for this year I can't wait for the virtual event, and I'd like to say good luck to all the entries tonight, and I hope all of you watching have an absolutely fantastic evening. Let's get on with the show. Oh, St. Nicholas, you're the one. We jump for joy whenever. Oh, so jolly, oh, St. Nicholas passes by, spread in spirit with a twinkling eye. Oh, St. Nicholas, overhead you hang a piece of merry mistletoe, and oh, St. Nicholas, gay are we, catching kisses by the Yuletide tree. How does it feel to be such a Mr. Big King of the party each year? How does it feel to be so full of captivating Christmas cheer? Oh, St. Nicholas, here's to you, a toast for bringing goodies to the young. And oh, St. Nicholas, hip hooray, have a happy Christmas day. There's a merry little man we know, and to everybody's home he'll go when the weather's in a cold degree. Can't you guess who it can be? So, oh, St. Nicholas, you're the one. We jump for joy whenever. Oh, so jolly, oh, St. Nicholas passes by, spread in spirit with a twinkling eye. Oh, St. Nicholas, overhead you hang a piece of merry mistletoe, and oh, St. Nicholas, gay are we, catching cruises by the Yuletide tree. Wouldn't Didn't you know that you'd be responsible for all the holiday noise?
Wouldn't you know that we'd be just like other little girls and boys? So,
Oh, St. Nicholas, here's to you, a toast for bringing goodies to the young. And oh, St. Nicholas, hip hooray, have a happy Christmas day, have a happy Christmas day.
oh, St. Nicholas,
Oh, St. Nicholas,
oh, St. Nicholas,
oh, St. Nicholas, have a happy Christmas day. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round yon Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Round young Virgin Mother and Child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lisa, CEO of Sight for Wight. First of all, thank you so much for Sue and Hannah for introducing this evening's award ceremony. Without hesitation, we're going to move on to the first category, the under 12s. This year we had a record number of entries and the judges struggled to find just 3 stories to award the prizes to. The stories were full of imagination and really pulled at the heartstrings of the judges. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Chris Kane, who is going to reveal this year's winners.
Thank you, Lisa. Now, before we start, I was going to tell a joke. Does anybody mind if I tell a joke? No. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I was just going to say there was an announcement on the radio this morning. The Hampshire police have announced they're looking for a man with one eye. And if they don't find him, they're going to use both eyes. No? Okay. Moving on. I'm now going to reveal some names. Okay. So I have the results of the under 12s category. The third place goes to Poppy Manning for her story entitled The Wish. Our mystery judge said, a well thought out story with a brilliant introduction and consistently good use of adjectives, with a poignant message at the end. The story was also well structured with superbly accurate punctuation, grammar and spelling. A strong introduction and lovely concept. Well done. Poppy wins a chocolate hamper kindly donated by Asda, Isle of Wight. Okay, the second prize goes to Evie Quick for her story entitled The Workhouse Wish. Our mystery judge said, The author created a clear world for the reader with a touching and well thought out narrative and a brilliant ending. Overall, the story structure was excellent, accompanied by incredibly accurate grammar, spelling and punctuation. I love the way you created a very real world for the reader. Evie wins a family day pass to Tapnell Farm Park, kindly donated by Tapnell Farm. Congratulations, Evie! And finally, do you recognise this?
Meanwhile, James leaned over to the magazine his mother was reading and swiped it off with ease. He flicked through it. James found a bookmark on the dating page.
So, our first prize in the under 12s category goes to Isabel Woodford for her story entitled Be Careful What You Wish For. Isabel wins a giant cuddly teddy bear, kindly donated by the entertainer. Our mystery judge said, I have given this story first prize because it was so entertaining and the characters were very clearly described and well thought out. It also had an amusing moral lesson while staying focused on this year's theme of the wish. The author also used impressive adjectives such as retorted and brilliant descriptive language. The writer also managed to create suspense and tension, making the reader wanting to read. A very good and entertaining interpretation of this year's theme and a fantastic read. Congratulations. Congratulations, Isabel, a well-deserved first prize. Okay, now we're going to go on to some music, and it is my pleasure to introduce a singer, guitarist and all-round entertainer, Ben Stubbs.
Hi, this is Ben Stubbs. A big thank you to Sight for Wight. I'm really pleased to be playing a few songs for you guys at the short story writing competition virtual awards ceremony. I've got a couple of songs for you, and this is the first one. It's by Mr. Elton John. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who get easily high. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'll buy a big house where we both could live. If I were a sculptor, but then again no, or a man who makes potions traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best that I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. You can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. Sat on the roof and I kicked off the moss. A few of those verses, well, they got me quite cross. The sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting these things I do. See, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. And anyway, the thing is what I really mean. Yours are the sweetest eyes that I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is a song. And it may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words and how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is now you're in the world. Thank you. Next up, I've got a bit of Paul Simon for you. This is me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Oh, mama, put time on road out of bed and she ran to the police station. When the papa ran out, he began to shout and started the investigation. It was against the law, it was against the law. What the mama saw, it was against the law. Well, mama looks down, she spit on the ground every time my name gets mentioned. When the papa says, oh, I'm gonna get that boy, I'm gonna stick him in the house of detention. And I'm on my way, don't know where I'm going, I'm on my way. Taking my time, but I don't know where. My rose, the queen of Corona. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Whoa, in a couple of days they're gonna take me away, but the press got the story leaked. When the radical priest come and get me released, put his own in the cover and use me. And I'm on my way, I don't know where I'm going, I'm on my way. Taking my time, but I don't know where. I'm better rose, the queen of Corona. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. Thank you very much.
Hello again, and thank you very much for Ben for the singing for us this evening. And a huge well done to our under 12s category winner Isabel for a fantastic story. As the under 12s winner, Isabel will have her story printed in the Isle of Wight County Press. She'll also, like all the under 12 entrants, receive a certificate and a prize donated by Tesco's. Thank you very much. As a category winner, Isabel will have her story read out by one of our celebrity readers. Her story will be read by Ray Allen, a playwright famed for the 1970s sitcom Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. The story writing competition is one of our Isle of Wight fundraisers, and although it is a fundraiser in itself, it is also aided every year by the sale of our raffle tickets. This year, Sight for Wight is celebrating 125th birthday, so we've managed to, by going out to the Isle of Wight community, raise £125 cash first prize plus 125 other individual prizes. We've been humbled by the response of the Isle of Wight community when we went out asking for prizes. Thank you to each and every one of you who donated any prize and every single donation we've had. We'll now move on to the next category. This is going to be revealed by our newest member to the team, Elaine. Elaine is in charge of setting up our new befriending programme. So Elaine, welcome, and here are the results.
Thank you, Lisa. In here, I have the results for the young persons aged 12 to 17 category. The third prize goes to Isla Preston with her story entitled The Defiance. Our mystery judge said a very well written descriptive story with a hopeful ending. Well done. Isla wins a chocolate hamper kindly donated by Isle of Wight Asda. Congratulations, Isla. The second prize goes to Ivy Jenkins for her story entitled The Wish. Our mystery judge said a heartful story, well written, wanting to make a difference to the world of poverty. A worthy second prize in this category. Ivy wins a £25 book voucher kindly donated by Sandham Office Services. Congratulations, Ivy. And finally, do you recognise this?
Lucas went downstairs to eat breakfast and asked his parents, "Did you move my toys around the bedroom?" "We haven't touched your toys, son," replied his dad. "Maybe you moved them and forgot about it," said his mum.
First prize in the young person category goes to Charlotte Wilson with her story entitled I Wish I Had One More Day. Our mystery judge said a lovely story with a happy ending. A young boy posts a letter written by a young girl before she dies. Now she can rest in peace. Very well written and held my attention to the end. Left me wanting to read more. Well done. Charlotte wins an Echo Dot, kindly donated by Wight Computers. Congratulations, Charlotte. Howard Thomas, one of our Sight for Wight volunteers, will now read a poem he has written himself.
Hello, I'm Howard, and I'm going to read you a poem I've written based very loosely on a well-known poem by Clement C. Moore. His poem is called The Night Before Christmas. Mine is called The Week Before Christmas. I hope you enjoy it. 'Twas the week before Christmas, and all over the town, the girls and their boyfriends were letting them down. Their defences, I mean, with short drinks in long glasses. No wonder they ended up flat on their arses. The drinks they were drinking were powerful mixtures, so much that some smashed up the pub and its fixtures, while others, behaving like absolute nutters, threw up the whole lot and their food in the gutters. At the discos, the music, incredibly loud, managed to mesmerise most of the crowd. But some, with their sexual appetites whetted, groped off to the corners and panted and petted. At the offices, there is the usual party with secretaries dressed up to look, frankly, tarty, in stockings, suspenders and skimpy black dresses, guaranteed to encourage men's drunken caresses. In theatres all over, the pantomime starts, with men dressed as women and jokes about farts. and double entendres, incredibly rude. But as Mum says, at least it puts Dad in the mood. Dad goes to the shop to get Mum her gift, thinking, this year we'll give our sex life a lift. But seeking to buy some sexy surprises is totally flummoxed when asked what her size is. At the schools they put on the nativity play, with Mary and Joseph and Crib in the hay, and real live animals playing their part, but the teacher is worried in case they might fart. Then comes the hangover, gut rot and pain, with stern protestations of never again, but after some coffee to lighten the fog, it's back to the pub for the hair of the dog. Then when it's all over, we'll all shed a tear, but not because Christmas just comes once a year, but worried about money and the size of our belly, we must spend the next 6 months in front of the telly. A Merry Christmas to you all, Nadolig llawen I chi gyd.
Congratulations, Charlotte, for our young person winner. Her story will be read out by another one of our celebrity readers, Jo Brand. We're welcoming Jo back for the second time to add her unforgettable style to the readings. Charlotte has been awarded an Echo Dot as her prize. We know how useful this will come in. Part of what we're doing at Sight for Wight is trying to get people digitally connected, and we've gone out and sought funding, and we are now in a position to be able to offer our newsletter, our talking news, information onto our own Alexa skill. At the moment, the skill is at a trial stage, but it will be out live to our members before Christmas. So once again, congratulations, Charlotte. A quick reminder about our raffle. This year we are celebrating 125 years, and if you'd like to buy raffle tickets, there's still time. You can call us now on Isle of Wight 522205, or you can buy tickets via our Facebook page. We're only £185 short of our target, so please go onto the Facebook link or give us a call now and we will furnish with you some winning tickets. The next category is the highly commended category. This was added as an extra category because the judges wanted to recognise people who had tried and showed real potential as future winners. So I will now turn to Jasmine Edwards, who is our Young Person and Education Officer, and she's going to reveal the results for the highly commended award.
Thank you, Lisa. In here I have the results for the highly commended category. The winner of the highly commended category prize this year is Claudia Summers for her story entitled Whale Song. Our mystery judge said it took bravery in putting forward her poetry as her entry and for approaching the challenge in such a different and creative way. Well done. Claudia wins a family entry to Dinosaur Isle attraction, kindly donated by Dinosaur Isle. Ben Stubbs will now perform his last song for the evening.
So on to the next one. This is one of my favourite songs, one of my favourite Christmas songs actually, coming up to Christmas. This is called Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues, and I'm not going to be censoring it, I hope you don't mind too much. It goes a little bit like this anyway. Christmas Eve, babe, and in the drunk time, an old man said to me, won't see another one. And then he sang a song, the rare old Mountain Dew. I turned my face away, dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. Now I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas, and I love you, baby. I can see a better time, and all our dreams come true. these bars, they've got rivers of gold, where the wind rolls right through you, there's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome, you were pretty, queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they howled out for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on the corner, then danced through the night. And the boys in the NYPD choir were singing, "Go away, babe," and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. Scumbag, you maggot, you cheap lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, your ass, I pray God it's our last. But the boys in the NYPD choir still singing, "Go away, babe," and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. Well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you. I kept them with me, babe, and I put them with my own. I can't make it all alone. I've built my dreams around you. And the boys of the NYPD choir still singing, "Go away, babe," and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Thank you very much. I've been Ben Stubbs. It's been an absolute pleasure. Cheers.
As the highly commended winner, Claudia has her song Wales Song is going to be read out by the Isle of Wight jazz singer Adana Minghella. Adana has been so supportive and has read out stories every year since we started the story writing competition. Finally, I'd like to turn to the adult category. With 25% more entries this year than ever before, it was an extremely difficult decision for the judges, who spent hours reading through the stories. I'd like to turn now to Susan Early, our volunteers and members manager, who's going to reveal the final results.
Good evening. In here I have the adult results. It gives me great pleasure to announce in third place Mary Coward for her story A Wish Came True in Croydon. Our mystery judge said, "A fairy tale storyline with an unusual twist. Links to three main characters, one who is extremely funny and pompous, and the latter enduring and unexpected. The theme of a wish is maintained throughout, and the ending leaves the reader with a warm glow following an enjoyable close. Well done, Mary. You win a £30 voucher for the waterfront, kindly donated by Chris Kane. The second prize tonight goes to Jessica Woodward for her story entitled The Way to a Wish. Our mystery judge said, a unique storyline draws you in from the beginning and keeps you in suspense throughout. A cynical and realistic look at life today, and with a strong theme of just how badly a well-intended service can be set up to provide support to others. The ending culminates in a positive, generous and thought-provoking finale. Jessica wins a £50 voucher, kindly donated by Wight Link. And finally, do you recognise this?
On Waterloo Station, a thin, scrawny man in a long black overcoat stamped his feet against the cold. A dewdrop fell from his nose onto his muffler as he bawled the news from his stall.
The first prize in the adult category goes to Fred Canavan for his story entitled When You Wish Upon a Star. Our judge said, captivating from the beginning, the story leads you into a bygone era, which is descriptive, familiar, nostalgic, funny and heartwarming. The dialogue and characters are realistic, which helps to strengthen the moral of the tale. The return to the future links well with the past. It's easy to read and flowing throughout the story, and it ends with a warming, feel-good and hopeful closing scene. Well done. Fred wins a year's membership for 2 people at the Ventnor Botanical Gardens, kindly donated by Ventnor Botanical Gardens. Now Hannah, the vintage songbird, will now perform her last song this evening, I'll Be Home for Christmas.
I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Leaves have snow and mistletoe and presents under the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love like gleams. I'll be home for Christmas Day, if only in my dreams. I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. I'll be home for Christmas Day, if only in my dreams.
And there we have it, this year's adult category winner, Fred. A truly superb set of stories received this year. We are so impressed every year that a simple theme can be interpreted in so many different ways. Actor Melvin Gunnar Hayes will be reading Fred's story, famed for his 1970s British sitcom by the BBC, It Ain't Half Hot Mum, with his truly unmistakable voice. Thank you very much, Melvin, for helping us again this year. I'm just getting news that we've had lots of phone calls this evening donating more money to the raffle. However, we are still a little short, so I'm going to make one final plug. Telephone 522205 or follow the link on our Facebook page to buy your raffle tickets this evening. Finally, a big thank you to every single person who entered the story writing competition this year, and congratulations to the winners. The stories will be read out at the end after the closing songs by Kelly Burke, an Isle of Wight singer. Thank you very much for joining this evening, and congratulations once again to our winners.
It's amazing how you could speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark. Try as I may, I could never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. A smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes, seeing you never leave me. The touch of your hand says you catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you see nothing at all. All day long I can hear people talking out loud. But when you hold me near, you can drown out the crowd. Try as they may, they can never define what's been said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes, saying you'll never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me whenever I fall. But you say it best when you say nothing at all. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes, seeing you never leave me. The touch of your hand says you'll catch me wherever I fall. You say it best when you see nothing at all. Nothing at all. When you see nothing at all. Nothing at all. A smile on your face, touch of your hand. So your lips lets me know that you need me. You say it best when you say nothing at all. You say it best when you say nothing at all.
Be Careful What You Wish For by Isabel Woodford. Read by Ray Allen. Once there lived an extraordinarily rich boy. He wore grey suits with the same old boring bow tie. The boy's name was James. Mother, James said, sitting at the 100-foot-long dining table in his velvet silk pyjamas, waiting for his breakfast. Yes, James, said his mother. She was an only mother, very perky though. Where is Erdie? He asked. Erdie was the family of twos rather posh butler. On holiday, James. Barcelona's ridiculously hot there, they say, she replied. Going to make your pancakes myself. And with that she rushed off to the kitchen, singing a rather catchy song. Another one bites the dust. Meanwhile, James leaned over to the magazine his mother was reading and swiped it off with ease. He flicked through it. James found a bookmark on the dating page. Oh, mother, looking for a man, eh? But he quickly put it back on her chair because she was coming out of the kitchen. All right, I made your pancakes. First ones were a bit burnt, but now everything is just tickety-boo. Before pushing his pancakes on a silver platter, I thought you loved me, James protested. I do love you. Why would you say such a thing? The lady retorted. You gave me a silver platter, not a silver platter, James whined. The lady shook her head and sat down, not looking at her son. You better be careful what you wish for. Bad things can come from very naughty, spoilt children like you, the lady said in a mysterious kind of way. James gave her a look as if to say, yeah, what an old wives' tale. Or in James's case, young wives' tale. Goodbye, mother. I'm off to my room. His mother just kept looking through her dating page. The next day, James woke up with a start. There was the smell of metal on the air. James, half drunk of the smell, looked all around his bedroom. There was gold platters everywhere. Wow! James sat upright on his bed in awe. So cool! Just as he was about to stand up among all the priceless platters, something moved. What could it be? Was it a spider? No, this thing did not scuttle. A panther? No, this thing was far too big. Maybe a lion. No, this thing did not roar. Just as James was about to call out for his mother, a monster rose from the gold platters. It was big, it stomped, it growled. All the boy could think of was that his mother was right. Naughty, spoiled children like him should be careful what they wish for. Then, just as he was about to run out of his bedroom, not being stopped by the platters this time, the monster grabbed him with its yellow hand. James had come face to face with this metal monster. The monster was a shade of sun yellow. It had red beaming eyes that said it would kill anyone that disturbed him. James looked at his terrible jaws. They were coming straight towards him. Before James could blink, he was gobbled up whole by this monster. The monster took one last grin and shrunk into one lonely platter. Now I hope this teaches all young children a lesson. Next time be careful what you wish for and listen to your mother, or this just might happen to you.
I Wish I Had One More Day by Charlotte Wilson, read by Joe Brand. Do you believe in ghosts? Maybe you think they're just made up stories for humans to believe in, or that they do exist. Either way, this story is something else when it comes to ghosts. Lucas, an 8-year-old boy, and his parents had just moved into a new house. They pulled into the driveway for the first time and examined the house. When they looked up at the lonely building, Lucas thought he saw something in the window, but he shook it off. It must be because it's a new house. I'm imagining things, he thought to himself. They opened the doors to their new house and began settling in. Lucas was very excited to explore the eerie building. His mother told him not to go into the attic, though, as it was dangerous up there. After they had finished dinner that night, Lucas got into the shower. The shower had made the mirror steam up and slowly something was being written into it. Lucas was getting out of the shower when he noticed the words, "I wish I had one more day," were being written into the steam. He was very startled by this and quickly ran to his room to get dressed. He tried to forget what had happened and carried on with his evening. The very next day he noticed that his toys had been moved around. His teddy was now at the end of his bed and his car display was on the east side of his room. Lucas went downstairs to eat breakfast and asked his parents, "Did you move my toys around the bedroom?" "We haven't touched your toys, son," replied his dad. "Maybe you moved them and forgot about it," said his mum. "That's odd," he mumbled quietly to himself. As he placed his dish and cutlery by the sink, his parents left to go and watch television. Suddenly the spoon moved. Ever so slowly it fell off the counter. Lucas let out a small cry of horror and quickly picked it up. Strange things were happening in this house and Lucas didn't like it. Every time he showered, the words, "I wish I had one more day," would appear in the mirror. Those words would also appear carved into wood and trees around the area. Even stones would spell it out. By this time, Lucas had explored every room on the first and second story of his house. One night, Lucas heard something by his door. He slowly sat up in bed and saw his door was open. He got up and looked out to see something golden disappear around the corner. He chased it down the hallway and stopped suddenly. There was an open door that led to the attic. Calmly he went through the door and up the stairs. He walked into the dark, empty attic and carefully placed his feet on the wooden floor. His mother had warned him that the wood was extremely delicate. Something in the back corner caught his eye. There was a chest. It was very small and could only fit a stack of paper inside, but he wanted to go and get it. Lucas carefully walked over to the chest and lifted the lid up. There was a letter inside. All over the chest there was the sentence, "I wish I had one more day." This must be the reason for the ghostly haunting, Lucas exclaimed to himself. He read the envelope and discovered that it was a love letter to someone. It was written by a girl named Isabel who lived in this house before Lucas did. The people selling the house told him that she had died mysteriously, and others said this house was haunted by her ghost. Once again there was that sentence being written into the wooden floor, but this time there was a girl. She had silky blonde hair and a beautiful face. She wore a white gown and mumbled, "I wish I had one more day to deliver the letter." The next day, Lucas put the letter into the post box, which Isabel had been unable to do. Once again he saw her ghost, but this time on the driveway. She was headed towards the gate, and as she walked away, the sun shined on her hair like liquid gold. The last words he heard were "thank you," and she was gone. There were no more hauntings in the house, and Lucas would always remember his experience in the haunted house. The end.
Whale Song by Claudia Summers. Read by Adana Minghella. I was still in my school uniform. It was a blustery day, but I kicked off my socks and shoes and crouched between the jaggy rocks. I didn't want anyone to find me. I liked the feel of the cold stone on my skin. I just wanted to be alone with my thoughts and listen to the waves. It had been a horrendous time. A deadly virus had spread across the planet. But long before that, humans were busy destroying our environment. Pollution, global warming, ice caps melting, all these symptoms the earth was showing, but humans seemed not to care. The virus mainly affected humans, and this had given the animal world a temporary break from their destruction. I wondered, when the last polar bear takes his last icy breath, will anyone notice? Could a wish to save the planet and its animals really come true? I plunged my feet into the swelling waters. I was expecting a satisfying splash, but the noise I heard was more like the clanking from your washing up bowl. I peered down to see ugly, twisted plastic bobbing along, tangled up with old fishing net. Suddenly, feathers whipped past my face as a rather plump seagull crash-landed next to me. "Ha! Wishes are for fishes," he tutted. "You want to save the world? You have to do something. You will fight for us and protect us like your ancestors before you." He tilted his head to one side, as if he was waiting for my reply. His golden eyes eagerly flashing in the sunlight. I couldn't help thinking what a terrible landing that was, and also he had a ketchup sachet stuck to his chest. His leathery little feet scratched against the rock as he scrabbled to get his balance. "We need you to scare off the super trawlers and the whaling ships. If we leave it to the humans, there will be no fish left to feed future generations, and nowhere safe to live on land or sea. We only have one Earth." I sat blinking, not believing what was happening. How could a grubby little seagull reflect on our environmental situation so well? "What?" I started to speak, but I could not actually believe I was considering answering a bird. Well, not only a bird, but one whose language was better than mine. It was as if he could read my mind. "I read a lot of newspapers under the chips," he added. "We need you. So come on, it's about to happen." I was about to ask him what would happen when he poked me with his knobbly orange beak. As beaks go, it was far from impressive, but it was sharp enough to make me jump and send me crashing into the freezing sea. I hadn't even had time for a big gasp. The salt water stinging in my nose and eyes made me forget how filthy the water was. A deafening surge of bubbles rushed past my head and pulled at my long brown hair until I wasn't sure what was hair and what was seaweed. Somehow, beyond the gloomy surface, light seeped through. A shoal of identical turquoise fish all turned at once to greet me with their huge bulging crystal eyes. Did they know me? Then I heard it, the most mesmerizing sound, the whale song, a siren piercing through the waters, announcing my arrival. I saw the mighty whale tail rise and pound. It sent crashing thunder all around. Majestic, colossal ocean friend, is this the beginning or the end? He rolled one cloudy eye to mine. He winked. He knew it was time. I thought, I don't want to be part of the world above. I will save you. I will show you love. I grabbed the beast's dorsal fin. Pull me down. Let me in. Take us deep to the midnight zone, safe from the harpoons that smash our bones. But wait, I grow weak. How can I fight? Will this beauty be my final sight? My heart stops. Time stops. I can only feel pain. My once silent heart beats again. Getting stronger now, can you hear? I died to live without fear. I will lure the ships away from your kind. They will all seek me, but will never find. I'm not man-made. I am mermaid.
When You Wish Upon a Star by Fred Canavan, read by Melvin Hayes. On the dull, raw December morning, soft, wet saucers of snow swirled in the air, and a cold, miserable wind whined along the wharves and warehouses of the Thames. On Waterloo Station, a thin, scrawny man in a long black overcoat stamped his feet against the cold. A dewdrop fell from his nose onto his muffler as he bawled the news from his stall. Evening Standard! King abdicates! Read all about it! Across the station, a slight, shabbily dressed young woman, she might have passed for a domestic servant, showed her platform ticket to a porter and stepped into compartment 7 of the City of London steam train. A minute later, pale and trembling, she climbed down from the carriage and clung to the ticket barrier. The porter gave her a glance. Hasn't she been carrying something? He heard her sobs. Can I help you, miss? No, thank you. Are you sure? Look, let me... She pulled up a frayed collar of her coat. No, really, I'll be all right. King abdicates. Read all about it. Echoed across the station as she limped away, lost forever in the cold and dismal streets of London. That's the second one this year, said Edward Palfrey. Wrapped up well, mind. Poor little blighter. Good job you spotted him when you did, Albert. Blimey, not much of a start in life for a lad, is it? Left on a luggage rack on the City of London. He sighed at the sadness of it all. How old do you think he is? Asked the second porter. The head porter pursed his lips. He was a father of 5 and fancied himself an expert on such matters. Just a few weeks, I reckon. Here, he's got some kind of label on him. He took his spectacles from his brass-buttoned railway waistcoat and squinted at the crumbled scrap of notepaper. My name is Jack, he muttered. Please let me keep my teddy bear. The second porter stirred his strong brown tea with a pencil. What'll happen to him, Mr. Palfrey? The head porter scratched his chin. Orphanage, I suppose. St. Jeremy's over Basingstoke way, probably. They say Sister Clare's very good. He tucked the baby's ragged teddy bear, it was a cheap one from Woolworths, inside the blanket and lifted the telephone receiver. Waterloo Station here, head porter speaking. Police headquarters, if you please. Some time later, a policewoman called Jack was taken away. Edward Palfrey, lighting his pipe, watched them fade into the mist. He dabbed at his eyes with a grimy handkerchief. Drop a whiskey, Albert? He said to the second porter. I feel like a drop of whiskey all of a sudden. Keeps out the cold, you know. Good time Jimmy Jones slipped on his sheepskin jacket and slid £200 into the sharp scarf talons of the madam. Same time next week, Mr. Sheemy? Yeah. Same girls too, Rosa. Both of them. Of course, Sheemy. By the ways, I love your show. I always watch Wish Upon a Star. You make so many people happy. He flashed his newly whitened teeth. Regular ray of sunshine, that's me. She flashed her long, shy eyelashes and slipped into his arms. Maybe I could be on your show one day, Sheemy, darling. Don't phone me, I'll phone you, he laughed, echoing his catchphrase. If you wish, caught his fancy. He might be on his teletrash show of wailing wallies and snarling tattooed chavs. Bye, Mr. Sheemy, she said, slipping the notes into her bra. See you next week, Starlink. Maybe, baby, he laughed, and stepped outside the expensive Georgian townhouse. Would she ever try to blackmail him? Nah, she wouldn't dare. She ain't never seen no work permit. Comforted by this, he set his shiny red leather shoes on the short walk to Waterloo Station. As he entered, he felt a sharp tug on his sleeve. Do excuse me, said a bedraggled elderly man. He reeked of gin. But I'm looking for the City of London steam train. It used to stop here every day. What? Said Jimmy. You silly old goat. There ain't been no steam trains at Waterloo for 40 years. Any rate, get your hands off my sleeve before I have you thrown out. Where's the manager? Somebody ought to do something. He settled in a first-class compartment, put his feet up on the opposite seat, and lit a cigarette. His mobile rang. Jimmy Jones speaking. Hiya, Jimmy, it's Joe here. Hiya, Joe. And how's my little brother? Might have something for you, said the Professor of Industrial History. I was nosing about the Midlands last week, and I came across an abandoned railway coach in an old sidings just outside Crewe. I did a bit of research, and guess what? It's from the old City of London steam train, taken out of service in '53, shoved in a shed and forgotten. Jimmy blew a smoke ring. What's all this to me, Joey? Your show, Wish Upon a Star. A lot of nostalgia nerks out there, and the council say we can have the coach if we shift it at our expense. Jimmy thought about it. Oh yeah, nostalgic nerks. Yeah. There was a dozy old dollop at Waterloo today rambling about the City of London. I reckon he might like to be on the telly. Hey, nice one, Joey. The king of daytime telly flashed his wallet in the station bar. Another G&T, Jack? If you're sure, Mr. Jones, it's awfully kind of you. No problem, my old mate. Now tell me again about this train. When the porter found you on the luggage rack with your teddy bear, the City of London, it was a long time ago. I haven't seen her in 50 years or more. Jimmy smelt money. Would you like to see her again, old pal? Well, just the once before I... Well, you know. But after all this time, surely it's impossible. Good time, Jimmy Jones. Grabbed Jack's arms. No, Jack, nothing's impossible. Not when you wish upon a star. Later, striding across the concourse at Waterloo, Jimmy made a call. Joey? Jimmy here. That old coach thing, ready yet? Yeah, came up lovely too. Get it to London for next week? Yeah, I think so. Good on you, brother, said Jimmy, and rang off. He checked his watch. Did he have time for a visit to Rosa's? He thought he might. Sister Cecilia sniffed. Well, my dear, in those days it was a great shame to be an unmarried mother, unlike today. And your records are quite sure? Asked Kelly Marie. The nun opened a ledger and traced her finger down a column. I'm told Sister Claire was quite meticulous. Oh yes, here we are. December the 10th, 1936. A boy. It was the day the king abdicated, actually. Hey? The king, my dear, King Edward, never mind. Shall we get on? How was the baby named? Asked the television researcher. Jack, from the label his mother left on him, and Porter after his head porter at Waterloo Station. As simple as that, I'm afraid. And the mother? She was never found. Look, would you care for some refreshments? I can have tea sent up. Got a cheeseburger? Asked Kelly Marie. A few chips and that. Sister Cecilia rustled away. Later, an excited Kelly Marie rang the studio. It all checks out, Jimmy. Same guy. Gotta be. Gonna be a great show. In the hospitality suite of ZTV, Jack Porter, in his threadbare regimental blazer, somewhat bemused and a little shaken in drink, looked about the room. Why his new friend with the shiny red shoes had a huge house and so many cameras was a mystery. And who were all these young people running about and shouting? He sipped the latest of many gins, slathered a stick of mustard onto a sausage roll, and wondered. The ride in the Rolls Royce from his bed sit had set the curtains of Maple Drive twitching, and the salute from the livered chauffeur had come as a surprise. Clearly Mr. Jones was a man of means. Kelly Marie skittered across the room in the jingle-jangle of Gothic punk chains and dangling earrings. Ready, Jack? Am I going to see Mr. Jones' collection of railway memorabilia? Kelly blushed. Collection? Yeah, you could say that. He's got a collection out there, all right. Well, it really is most kind. Got to move it, Jack. She took his arm and led him down the corridor. She opened the door, brushed crumbs from his blazer, and kissed his cheek. Enjoy it, Jack. Promise me. Oh, I will, my dear. I'm having a wonderful day. Okay, here goes. Kelly Marie gave him a gentle push. He tottered onto the stage to a bawling bedlam of baseball caps, bright lights and bling. Scores of chavs sneered and jeered as the old Disney tune syruped across the television studio. When you wish upon a star. Good time Jimmy in a silver diamante suit and a state-of-the-art hairpiece gripped his arm. Right here, right now, he bellowed. Give it up for Mr. Jack Porter. He leaned over his guest. Jack, you wished upon a star, and here you are. The sparkling gold curtain swished away to reveal a perfectly restored steam train coach. Let me take you there, oozed Jimmy. Let me take you to the compartment 7 of the City of London steam train, because, and I want to get a little serious here, folks, that's where Jack was found. December the 10th, 1936. Right, Jack? Yes, on the luggage rack. Gales of chavvy laughter rolled across the footlights. Jimmy hadn't finished yet. He's been a good sport, hasn't he? Yeah! They roared. Does he deserve the crown? Yeah! Kelly skipped on stage and placed a glittering crown on Jack's head. Congratulations, Jack. You're our grand old geezer of the month. And to go with it, Beam Jimmy, a cheque for £10,000. He opened the door of the coach. Jack stepped in. He was happy. The long, lonely, gin-sodded years of waiting on Waterloo Station were over. He had found her at last. He had found the City of London. He touched the luggage rack. It's all right, Mother, he breathed. I'm home now. That night, in his Earl's Court bedsit, Jack Porter tucked the cheque behind his alarm clock and sat his teddy bear in a high chair at the dining table. He slid the roast beef dinner from the microwave and opened a bottle of expensive red wine. It was a special occasion after all. He picked out a record, set it lovingly on the desk of his old-fashioned walnut radiogram, and swung the needle over. Jack smiled and poured a glass of wine and sang along to the music. When you wish upon a star. The end.